I didn't need a weapon to kill her. I barreled toward Alex as soon as the gong sounded. She saw me coming and ran back at me. I weighed more, so we fell on our side when we collided. She tucked under my chin and stuck both fingers into my eyes as I grabbed for her throat. I shoved her back and pushed her against the ground as she thrashed under me. She surged forward and suddenly locked her teeth onto my throat. I felt my skin tear and rip as she dug into me like the dog she was. I hauled myself towards her platform with her still attached and smashed her head against it so the blood oozed from the back of her head. Matching my blood splattered over her face. She tore in deeper as I smashed harder, both determined to kill the other first. Something impaled me from behind, sticking into me like barbed wire. I let go of Alex, and she shoved out from under me. I watched her lay panting on the ground beside me as I bled out. The little coward couldn't even fight her own battles. She had her friend come at me from behind. Hasana pointed toward the cotton candy trees and I nodded. That was the best environment for me, and I was happy to agree. I didn't even bother to grab anything from the pile of stuff. I could get what I needed in a forest. Hasana went in to grab something, and Maddie ran after me. There was someone ahead of me also running to the forest. I didn't care who it was. If it wasn't a career, we were in the same boat. Then something hit me from behind, and Maddie screamed. I fell forward and stopped sharp against the blade as I hit the ground, and forced itself back into me. Maddie knelt next to me and tried to pull me up. With the last of my strength, I gave her my token, a little carved bear. It used to remind me and my sisters of happier times. Maddie was always so happy. She'd give it a good home. Ember looked great. She and Icarus owned the cornucopia. She had nothing to worry about. She was going to be fine. All I had to do was slip away and not distract her. I ran toward the licorice grass. If the Greers didn't plan to camp the cornucopia, they'd take over the Candy House village. It was like a perverted child's game as I ran with everyone else. It was like one of those old games where someone counts and everybody runs, and whoever gets caught first loses. Some other tributes had already lost. I stumbled over a body as I ran. I started to catch up to another girl who was fleeing while carrying half a dozen bags. One of them was already open. As I ran past her, I accidentally jostled her. She pivoted like lightning and slammed her hand into my chest. The bag that was open contained a dagger, as I found out when it stuck into my ribs. The panicked girl yanked her hand back and stuck it in twice more before I could pull back and try and tell her it was an accident. She saw my movement and interpreted it as an attack, stabbing again and again until I couldn't breathe and my insides were slashed to ribbons. I fell between two of the platforms and watched the grass grow sodden and goopy with my blood. I hoped Ember didn't see who did it. It was an accident, and I didn't want to be avenged.